So today is transplant day, and I'm going to show you how I transplant one of my new plants, as well as an established plant that I grew from seed a few years ago. So, let's get the ball rolling. So I have some empty pots, and I have my coffee tree. Well, it's two coffee trees. I also have, and this is beautiful, the dragon fruit that I grew from seed. Of all the seeds I grew, this one has done the best. Although I don't know how the ones that I gave to my mom are doing. So I grew this baby from seed about 1.5 years ago. That's about how old it is. And I'm going to transplant it into a much larger pot. The coffee tree, I have this and I have a spider plant because I signed up for a plant club where I get a free plant every month in the mail. And so far, this one and the spider plant, they've sent me 2. But you can see that this one, if you look really closely here, was originally 3. And I'm going to be separating this and planting it into 2 separate pots. So let's get a plate and we'll get started. So the easiest one is going to be the dragon fruit. Now, I'm using an orchid base with some regular potting soil. I got an orchid for Valentine's Day, and I'm not good at keeping orchids alive. So this is just basically coconut bark, wood chip type stuff. But as a cactus, it doesn't need that much water, and it needs a very well-drained soil. Let me pull the rest of the orchid roots out. This will be the perfect base. Now, I've got the pot filled up to about here, and I'm going to put my plant in. I'm going to take a little bit more out because I want this a little deeper than it currently is. So, all you do, whenever you plant a plant that has already been growing, that's all you ever want to do. Okay, I'm at the bottom with a little bit of soil in there. Now, dragon fruit is a cactus, but it is also a vine, which means that wherever it has little tendrils, it'll start to grow real roots. Now, this thing feels like it might be a little root bound. And I have it in this little ceramic pot. Now, if you want to wear gardening gloves because of the little prickers on it, that is well and okay. Just trying to get a good grip where I'm not poking myself too much. If you are planning on upping your pots, you really might want to consider using plastic pots because you can smush them. Oops. And now, it's not that root bound, but as you can see, the root ball mass is quite extensive. So we're going to place it in. We're going to put the potting soil directly around it and fill the rest up with the bark. As I'm making a big giant mess, I apologize. When I'm done and the plant stands up on its own, I'll bring you in for a close-up of the tentacles. So essentially, if you cut off a piece of this and you just lay it across the soil, it'll form a brand new plant. So, I'm not sure if there's a way to make these self-supportive. Most people will wrap some sticks with some moss and they will let it climb up that. And my dog, whenever my husband's home, she likes to bark. So here is the dragon fruit. So these little things, you can see one here, and you can see that one right there. These are tentacles, or tendricles, I apologize. They're basically just air roots. Vines will use them to hold on to stuff, or they will put them in dirt and make more real roots. And this guy has them coming out everywhere. Everywhere, all the way down there. Every little one of these has them coming out. Now that we put the dragon fruit cactus off to the side, we're going to move on to the coffee. Now, my daughter and I like to decorate our pots, at least the top of the soil, with rocks. It also helps to retain the water and keep most soil-dwelling bugs from getting in. So I just got little river rocks from the pet store, from the fish aisle. I also use them for drainage in my pots that I don't have holes in the bottom. I'll put about an inch of these on the bottom and then put the dirt in. Uh-oh. Hi, Anna. Are you coming to help?
Help?
You gonna help?
The help.
You're gonna help.
The help? The help?
Okay, you ready?
Ready?
Now this is where I was growing the mangoes. So I don't know if I still have the pit in here, but they died a while ago.
Nice sucker.
I had some issues with bugs that I got from some potting soil. And they're very susceptible to them. Whoa! You found Ember's toy! So, basically, to separate them, there's many different ways that you can do. I typically just loosen up the soil. See all these roots in here? Sticking out all over the place. Just pull them apart. I know, you have two. I'm going to stick this one in here. And fill it in. Hold on. You know, make sure you cover all of the roots. Ember's got a kit for her birthday to make lip balm. And that's all you do. You just put it in and you fill the soil up. Don't push too hard. I just move the soil around to level it out. Still got some wiggle to it. And we're on to the next one. Put the rocks back around it. They're aesthetically pleasing and have a meaningful function. Ooh, this one's over wet. Yeah, that one's dry. Okay, so we're gonna just do the same thing with this one. And then we just give them a real quick 1-2 watering. You don't want to water them too much because you want to give them time to adjust, but you don't want to keep them too dry. Now this was the last mango that died, and I was hoping that it would come back up because it was a honey mango. The other one was my red mango. Anyways, the honey mango sets out multiple stalks, and all 3 of mine died. I had one that was fighting, but it gave out. So, because this soil is nice and moist, I'm just going to do this the lazy way. The lazy way is instead of taking out the soil and sizing the pot up, as you can see I already have bare rootstock, so we want to get a hole down the center. Pushing the soil aside. And we stick our plant in. Boop boop. And we move the dirt around. And that's all there is to it. Really simple. Put it back in its catch basin and put the rocks back around it. Now this one I'm not going to water because the soil is very moist already. But the other 2 I'm going to give just a little bit to. But other than that, that is all there is to it. Let me put this guy right here. It's really simple. And this is what they look like when they are finished.